Make a total of 3, 6, and 8 correct predictions to get 300, 680, and 720 tokens, respectively. You'll get another chance during the survival stage to guess the other 8 teams that will make it to the grand finals. The rewards are the same as the group stage. During the grand finals, you must try and predict the ultimate champion. Just predicting will grant 30 tokens, and a correct prediction will grant 400 tokens. If you're unsure about your predictions, you can let your friends' predictions guide you. Find someone reliable, copy their predictions, and wait to be rewarded. The 3 prediction rounds take place on July 27th, July 30th, and August 3rd at 10:45 UTC 0. Rewards are issued the second day after each stage ends at 4 a.m. UTC 0. You'll receive esports tokens based on your prediction results. Note, esports tokens don't expire and can be used in future esports events. Who do you think will be the ultimate champion? Join the 2025 PMWC event and share your predictions. Invite your friends to join the predictions and watch the tournament unfold.
The highly anticipated addition to the Mummy series outfits is here. Paired with the new Ice Tube Glider, the Polar Spectrophage set is just what you need to freeze your enemies. Or send them ablaze with the Inferno Feed set's new upgradable Chain Inferno Uzi. All the Mummy outfits are back. Get them all. Join now and collect the whole series to turn all eyes on the battleground. Event period, July 10th, 2025 through September 2nd, 2025. Pulsar Legionnaire available now. First outfit with special head animations and voice lines. The Pulsar Legionnaire set comes with its own super cute voice lines that can be toggled on or off.
What happened? Bye, friend. Hello, Earth. I'm here.
It also features the upgradable Hyperion ship DSR and Jet Reaver glider with special animations. Experience parachuting like never before. That's not all. Even more rewards await. Event period, July 25th, 2025 through August 26th, 2025. What are you waiting for? Get the new Guild set now.
Cybertron's future is near. Autobots, roll out! This planet reeks of weakness. Your courage reignites my spark. We'll crown a new lord of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
welcome everybody to the final day here at the PUBG Mobile World Cup at the Esports World Cup 2025. By the end of today, keys will be crushed and a brand new champion will be crowned.
But whose key is going to survive Veracity? Could it be Yangon Galacticos? Could it be Alpha Gaming? Or will another team rise up and claim that trophy?
We've already had favorites like Alpha 7 being knocked out of the running, and we've also got teams like R8 who have crumbled under the pressure of national pride and intense competition. So one thing is for certain, absolutely anything can happen.
Yep, in these final hours, we will know exactly how this journey ends.
Let's go!
Let's go.
We are here for the most important day at PMWC 2025. My name is Maxman, joined by Taylor Reflections, and we're here to break down the smash rules of how things are going to be working out for today. Of course, here the point threshold is what you want to try and overtake. If you are one of the lucky few that make it over the point threshold, if you can get a chicken dinner, you might just be crowned our PMWC 2025 Grand Champions. Though, currently the point threshold is standing at a high 128 points.
Very high indeed, especially for multiple rosters who need to catch up. But it was Yangon Galacticos who ended up setting the point threshold at 128. But it doesn't guarantee victory. Alpha Gaming, APG, they're nipping on their heels, just 1 point away. So the chance for them to catch up is very real. Locking it in early is going to be critical if you want to keep other teams away from reaching a point threshold themselves. So Maxman, everybody loves your predictions. Give me a spicy one. Who's taking it all?
Oh, I'm so happy you're asking me this, Reflections. I'm going to go and predict...
Hey! Okay, well, if he doesn't want to give it 7 to blank, I leave it to you.
I've been having to pretty much babysit Max on not making any predictions. So good job, Max, on not making one. But I'm going to be making one. I have Alpha Gaming becoming the champion today. And they're going to be doing it via Smash Roll.
A bold prediction, Seven. 1 point off the first place, thinking they might win the game. I mean, it's kind of out there. You know, I'm going to go for something a little bit less out there. It's Weibo, those Chinese teams. I'm a big super fan of them. But they're pretty good at what they do. Let's see if they can actually turn up those heat. But DRX7.
DRX, and how about those bottom teams too? Not even the ones that are going to be contending for the championship. They could be hindering some performances at the top.
Absolutely. Indonesia also trying to run for it, make a gambit for that top place. Let's check in with Alter Ego and see how they're doing and what they're lining up for today.
Kalau ditanya tentang konsistensi, mau kita sisa berapa orang pun, ya itu tentang kepercayaan diri lagi sih, sama mental satu sama lain. Jadi kayak ya udah, kalau mental lu bagus, lu bakalan dapat hasil yang bagus juga.
Alter Ego Enes.
Kalau ditanya untuk perasaan saya sih, jujur ya seneng banget lah dengan hasil yang kita dapat, karena kita benar-benar nggak nyangka juga bisa mendapatkan hashtag 1. Jadi kita harap semoga positive vibe-nya terus berlanjut lah sampai di final nanti.
Personally, I'm very excited to see Alter Ego take home the first place in the group stage, because it's been a hot minute since we've seen an SEA team be so dominant on the global stage ever since Vampire Esports in PMWI 2 years ago. So the fact that they were already into the grand finals with their slot is very exciting to see if they can maybe bring home a global trophy back to SEA.
Alter Egos mowing down 4 Thrives, pushing forward, looking to take down APG, and they will do exactly that.
A beautiful chicken dinner coming through from Alter Ego.
jujur kalau dari aku pribadi pasti ada meningkatnya karena di mana kita pasti banyak fans yang mengharapkan hal yang lebih kan daripada kita kan buat membuktikan itu semua. Cuman kembali lagi dari diri sendiri gimana cara mendakapinya. Cuman gue harap sih kita nggak bakalan kepressure banget sih dengan itu. Malahan jadi motivasi lah kalau bisa.
Alter Ego and Forthrive, the major threats in this lobby.
Oh, wow, but getting that knock is huge. Maybe Alter Egos can start to push up, mind you.
When it comes to the reason why they were so successful in the group stage, I'd have to put it down to 3 players, Krypton and also the side of Rosemary in terms of fragging power. They've been very efficient when it comes to just eliminating everyone in the lobby. There's a chance that they could do really well at that stage.
5,000 damage by himself? Yo! What?
It is going to be incredibly rough to make it out of those matches alive.
Wow, look at how active Alter Egos are getting. They are taking the fight to everybody and they are winning.
Kalau ditanya untuk strategi khusus atau apapun itu di final sebenarnya nggak ada. Jadi kita ngelakuin hal yang sama aja kayak di group stage. Cuman mungkin ada beberapa yang random mungkin yang bakal kita lakuin. Cuman itu kita nggak tahu. Kita bakal lihat nanti tentang keputusan coach aja nanti paling.
It would mean everything to Indonesia if they can finally claim another global trophy, because the last time that happened was back in Malaysia in 2019 with Bigatron. So of course, if anyone can make it happen this time around, it would have to be Alter Ego.
Untuk fans Alter Champs dan fans gue pribadi mau dari manapun itu tetap support gue, doain kita juga, mau kita lagi di atas atau di bawah ya intinya support dari kalian tuh kita butuh banget dan doa dari kalian juga kita benar-benar butuh. Dan jangan lupa untuk ya bangunin mental kita lah dengan komenan kalian atau apapun itu yang kalian buat ke kita, pasti kita sangat happy gitu dengan itu. Thank you.
A moment that will live throughout the entire history of PUBG Mobile Esports, as we now have 2 teams sat at the precipice, just about reaching the position of Olympus to join the gods. But will anybody challenge them at number 1? Yangon Galacticos, Alpha Gaming. These 2 teams are about to reach immortality for our grand finals. Day number 3 here for PMWC. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kalaris. Joining me to my left-hand side, it's Seven Worlds Gaming, it's Neptura, it's Maxman. This is the Jamil Motorsports arrival as these teams are leaving the hotel, making their way here to the stage, and one of them will become gods. Seven, it's a big day here for PUBG Mobile Esports.
It is. I want to see which teams are going to be shining, which teams are going to be crumbling. We've seen it happen in the past in finals. I'm hoping that it's not going to happen here on the final day of PMWC at EWC.
Neptura?
I just really want to see a smash rule come into play. We tried. We almost were there in PMGO. We've seen it a couple of times in the regional tournaments. But at a global, we want to see it happen. It's looking like there's a very good chance of it happening today, so I want to see it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm also excited, of course, for who's going to be crowned the champions at the end of today, but also the prize pool increases significantly even in the middle of the pack. Correct. So just increasing 3, 4, 5 extra rankings, you could be bringing home a lot of extra moolah.
Let's take a look at the Gadir top players here from our current days from the grand final and see exactly how all of this has gone down. Obviously, we start things off with Alpha Gaming because 7, it looked like Yangon Galacticos was going to run away with this tournament. Hands down, we had very few hopes for a lot of these teams, but they've stepped up. They are challenging their position.
And even though Yangon is currently one of the favorite teams for a lot of people, a lot of viewers, have been super impressed with what APG has been able to achieve throughout this finals. Even from day 1, they have been able to fix the mistakes. Doc is now staying with the team. They're playing a lot more compact, and it's something that I want to continue to see coming into today. Coming into today, though, there's one player that definitely needs to step it up for APG, and it's going to be none other than Top. Yeah. If we look at anybody throughout that squad, you see Doc with 27, Ilims, Rifas with 21, Seal with 18. Once you get to Top, he only has 12. And for a player of that caliber, Max, he needs to step it up.
He needs to step it up big time. We know, of course, Yol has already won a PMGC in the past. We're looking at Top, we're looking at Doc, 2 players that you know are hungry to win one of these big global events, and this might be their one opportunity in a long time.
Well, I'll get your thoughts in a moment here, Neptura, as we are ready wait for a lovely surprise before we begin day number 3 here of PMWC, so let's head over to the stage.
Hello, PUBG Mobile fans in Riyadh and all around the world. My name is James Yang, Senior Director of Global Esports Center at Level Infinite. 2025 is shaping up to be our most exciting year yet, and I'm thrilled to announce what's ahead for PUBG Mobile Esports this year, starting with the biggest event, PUBG Mobile Global Championship. This year's PMWC will feature 39 world's best teams battling for the glorious champion. 16 slots for grand finals will be decided through 3 stages. The Gauntlet. 16 top teams will fight for 6 slots. This new stage will provide more excitement and opportunities. Group stage. 32 teams, including bottom top teams from the Gauntlet, and 22 teams from each region will fight for 8 slots. There are 2 groups, so top 4 of each group will take the slots. Last chance. 16 teams from group stage will fight, and only the winner take 1 grand final slot. The last slot will be given to the host region invite. Then, who will be invited to the Gauntlet stage, and who will be for the group stage? The Gauntlet includes the top 2 to 3 teams from each region based on fall ranking. The group stage welcomes the next best performers by PMWC point. Let's see the top teams of current PMWC point leaderboards. I'm sure you will recognize some familiar logos, but it's still all to play for, and anyone can be on top. Okay, here is the eye-opening news for you. We are updating the map pool starting from 2025 PMSL Fall. Sanho will be replaced by Londo, joining the map pool with Erangel and Miramar. In response to player feedback, we are keeping the recall system in Londo, letting teammates revive in match, bringing esports gameplay closer to the authentic PUBG Mobile experience. Only Londo will have the recall system, others not. While the Blue Zone stage standard, some key changes such as Sentry Guard and drops will make the change in the course of fight. The sharp system remains disabled to ensure balance. These all changes will bring a more exciting strategy and action-packed highlights to keep us at the edge of our seats. Now, besides tournaments, let's talk about PUBG Mobile Esports story that involves everyone, including players, teams, everyone, and you. Take part in this amazing community with their own PUBG Mobile story. Southeast Asia fans may recognize Glue Squad, from the community team to the top of PUBG Mobile Super League Southeast Asia. Fans in Africa may have heard about the name Memohito, the first female player reached top 3 in Kenya series. In Nepal, with Hora Esports celebrate to play PMWC Grand Finals for the first time. This all proves anyone can be the one. Also, I'd like to share more personal stories. Team Nile's 11011 enemy, who, despite managing limited mobility due to sickle cell disease, pushes past his limit and even earned an MVP and represented Nigeria in the 2024 competition in Saudi Arabia. The representatives from the Turkey community of gamers without disabilities have also shared their stories of how PUBG Mobile helped them create a supportive group of 50 players, bring them together to form genuine connections. We also saw the soccer celebrity Rick Carlson finding love through PUBG Mobile, and our pro player fathers stood proudly to give all their love and support to their son, just like Silas and El Haya's dad. as their #1 fans. We'll be sharing more of this touching story, and one day, your story will shine too. That's all from me. We can't wait for the next chapter of PUBG Mobile Esports. See you on the battleground. Be the one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. And so, hi everyone. Have you heard about Next Star? This is PUBG Mobile's official program for content creators. Whether you have followers or not, if you love the game, you're welcome to join. Since 2021, Next Star has helped thousands of creators, help grow them with funding, in-game perks, and of course, official partnerships. Anyone can be a star. The program offers a total annual prize pool of over $6 million, plus exclusive in-game rewards and collaborations. The best creators will even get official annual awards. And now it is going global, because starting August the 3rd, Next Star is officially open in MENA, Western Europe, North America, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, South America, LATAM, and Africa. So if you've ever wanted to share your PUBG Mobile moments and build your own community, now is your chance. All you need is passion, and we will help with the rest. So if you want in, just scan the QR code to apply, and of course follow all of our channels for the latest updates. We can't wait to see you there. Good luck, and we'll see you on the battleground.
Thank you very much, James Yang and Barney Banks as well. In the face-off between the two, though, I think James Yang was able to win out there in those presentations. And interesting, exciting news coming in. Seven Neptura as well as Maxman joining me here to talk about this. Neptura, Rondo coming to esports properly. Sandhawk gone, stricken against the rocks.
Rondo, let's go.
Whoa, yeah.
We have been playing this map for ages. We love it. I'm so excited to see it coming into esports. I'm slightly sad because Sandhawk's my favorite. I'm sad.
Seven's too.
But, hey, Seven.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah,
Unreal.
Rondo. I love Rondo. It's really, really good. I can't believe that just happened.
No, it's
but
fine.
you know, the recall system as well is going to be really, really interesting to see how that comes into fruition with all these esports players. You know, all the professionals coming in, getting those strategies involved as well. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this evolves that strategy, how it evolves the meta, and what kind of changes we'll see from the other maps.
Very different tools, Max. We got to cast it yesterday, had a great time with that, and also we now also know how the road to PMGC is going to unfold as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fun to see how the teams are going to try and qualify going into PMGC, especially because now Rondo's going to be there, so I know that Horror Esport are going to be loving the new map rotation this time around, because of course they did get the win yesterday on the show matches. But no, Rondo in particular, I think I've been waiting for a big change in PUBG Mobile Esport in the map rotation, and we're finally getting it here in the later stage of 2025, so I'm beyond excited to see what the meta is going to be on that map.
As much as I love Sandhawk, I'm actually excited with the way that we're going to be seeing Rondo being able to revive your teammates. We saw it happen yesterday during the show match as well. APG, I think it was Doc, the last one alive. He ended up reviving 3 of his teammates. And as long as you don't predict Hora, I'm pretty sure they'll continue to win.
Okay. Sure, I won't do that.
We're going to have to bake it into our contracts, Max. So only we're allowed to cast Rondo from now on.
I like that.
I wouldn't hate that. You guys were great, actually. I learned about Rondo hearing you guys talking about it.
He's been nice to me on... Oh, it's weird.
If you had to equate how much you learned from me versus Maxman, what would you say? Me,
I would say a solid 99 and 1.
Jeez Louise.
Okay, I take it.
He said I was being too nice, though.
James Yang did say you could be the one. There you go.
I am the... No, I'm the hashtag one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, let's move on then. A lot of things to be excited for PUBG Mobile Esports here, but we've got to talk about PMWC, of course, because we've got the Crunchyroll reactions coming in from everything that was going on Neptura throughout these last 2 days. Emotions were riding high for some of these teams, but Yangon looking fantastic.
They really are. Just 10 points left until they hit that match cutoff, right? Or the cutoff point, rather. So Sandhawk, if they can just do that, that's not even a hard threshold to reach, right? 10 points in one game for these teams, the way they've been going at least, not all that difficult. I would like to see them do that thing again. I think the way the zones have been going, the way they've been able to handle the zones over the last 2 days, if we see those same zones today, they have an excellent chance of actually making it and smashing.
Honestly, even if we don't see the same zones, the way that this team plays, I was talking with Blank and we've kind of both agree that this team just plays to win. They let everybody else fight it out. They don't really worry about anything that's going on. And yesterday they showcased that perfectly, being able to third party. One thing I am looking forward to seeing the most, Max, is seeing if they get the 10 points here in Sandhawk, if they can finish it on the second match, because this team has gotten back-to-back wins on the second game every single day of the finals.
It's going to be really a tough one going into this one, how they're going to be playing it out. I mean, Yangon Galacticos are the quintessential wide-rotating team. I even talked to Falcons, like, how are you guys feeling about Yangon? They're like, they wide-rotate, and they just keep getting the circle. It's because the rotates are good. They find the path of least resistance every single time in the circle, and so far as you can see on the leaderboard, it's been working out.
All right, so here we are. Let's spell it out for you. If Yangon Galacticos gets 10 points, they are then eligible to move into the Smash Zone, correct?
Exactly.
Likewise, Alpha Gaming, 11 points, able to move into the Smash Zone. Those two teams are head and shoulders above the rest. If they smash, the tournament is over 7, and there's a very real possibility with how they're playing that it could occur here today.
It is. Honestly, going into the second game, I think both of these teams might end up passing that threshold with the day that they've been playing. We saw what Alpha Gaming was able to do yesterday, Neptura.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how they've been playing that yesterday in particular, right? They tend to get into a mid or center position, and then as the zone moves closer to them and pushes them further out to edge, they start sweeping other teams. It's a really effective strategy. It's why they have so many eliminations on the board. It is a lot more eliminations than placement. Could that end up being a problem for them if they're trying to reach that smash point, if they're trying to get that win? That could be a factor, but the way they've been going, obviously they've done enough to get into second place. They could easily get the win as well.
For sure. I mean, look, of course, we know the main storyline, Yangon Galacticos, Alpha Gaming. The teams below them, they would need to get 50 points before even getting into the Smash Zone to then be eligible to actually win the entire thing. 50 points, that realistically you can achieve it by the end of the day. Depending on how quickly Alpha Gaming and Yangon Galacticos get those 10 points, they're not going to have a lot of time. Are they going to try and target them, though? Knowing that they need to get 50 points, that's a massive risk. Is anyone going to be willing to go and take that risk?
One team that I'm going to be looking at targeting, especially if they don't start off hot in Sandhawk, is going to be Alter Ego. Because after Sandhawk, Alter Ego, keep in mind, we're going to be playing 3 Erangels. This team has been absolutely awful when it comes down to Erangel. Day 1, 11th place average. Day 2, 13th place average. This is not what you want to see out of Alter Ego. So if you were asking, anybody's going to target them? Netura, I think maybe Alter Ego will try to target them in Erangel.
Exactly. I really would like to see also for Alter Ego for them to go back to the angles and the splits that we were seeing from them in the group stage as well, right? Because they had some really, really good controlling angles, particularly in Erangel. But since the finals have started, we just haven't seen that from them. So if they go back to that, again, yeah, they start trying to control other teams. They start trying to control the zones. They have a real good chance.
Here's our 9th through 16th as well. And do not forget, yes, of course, we're focusing a lot on who will become the champion here at the World Cup. But there is still a lot of money on the line here for every single one of these placements, Max, to try and scramble above your competitors.
Thunder Talk in particular, at the bottom of the rankings, right? They've had so many elims, very little placement points. If we can see them have a decent day today, maybe they could just able to jump up onto the first page, and that prize point increase would be huge for the side of Thunder Talk. So even if you're at the bottom, you still have a lot to play for in this final day.
And the question all the way at the top from me, Seven, is what do these teams prefer? Do they prefer to try and go for the crazy glory of trying to knock these teams off the pedestal because you constantly have to target them if you want to try it? Or do you protect what you currently have in terms of prize pool? Because it's still a lot of money for 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place, etc., etc.
I think the tone will be set after Sandhawk, depending on where the top 5, depending on where they end up in Sandhawk, what the gap is going to be looking like going into the later matches. Then we might start seeing a little bit of targeting, especially if we end up seeing a little bit of gaps here and there. One thing though is that all the other teams from 3rd, I think, to 14th place, technically they're still close. So it's along the lines of what you're saying, Max. They are going to be fighting for that prize pool.
Yeah.
Well, this is Jamil Motorsports arrival here for all of these teams to get ready and good to go. You can see the tension rising here for some of these teams again, especially for those two towards the top. Max, you were saying?
No, I was going to say, actually, if we see one of the 2 top teams actually make it in a Smash Zone in the first game, the entire lobby is going to be an absolute shambles because the tournament could end the very next game. Do you want to try and go for Hail Mary send, hot drop the top team so they can't get the smash? Do you want to try and slow down your main competition just above you? Do you just want to play it safe and get points points so you can hopefully get high in the rankings. This is why I love Smash Rules so much. It changes the whole dynamic of how your last day really goes down, what the strategy is for these teams. In CSA, it was all over the place, and I think we might have something very similar here for PMWC.
And with that, what you're saying is I'm starting to think about Yangon Galacticos. They need to make sure that they actually get within the Smash Zone, Neptura, because if they don't, this is a team, we just mentioned it, they tend to just play their game, they tend to just play for the win, and if for some reason APG is able to cross that Smash Zone, I don't see Yangon Galacticos being aggressive enough to try to hunt down APG.
Yeah, I think that they're very they take advantage of the opportunities that they're given, right? And I think they do that very well, but I do see your point as well, where it's like when they're actually confronted in a very aggressive way, like some of these teams are bound to want to do, Yangon might just falter a little bit, and that's a bit of a concern for today.
I don't think they're going to falter. Like, look at their graph here. It's so consistently just going up. Every point, they bring in points on the board, every single battleground. And the thing is, because of their wide rotates, they always get into the circle. They always get into that middle to late game section, meaning they're getting a few limbs, a few placement points. 10 points is not even a win. It's like a podium, maybe even a top 5 with a few eliminations. That could be very easily achievable for Yangon Galacticos.
Very rarely do we see the graph like that. Very rarely do we see two teams being able to just protrude over the other teams, dwarf the other teams at an international tournament like this. And it does concern me, Seven, especially when it comes to the pressure that will start mounting on those two teams in particular today. But I think there's a different dynamic for the pressure for those two teams, because I think Yangon Galacticos may crumble to the pressure a bit harder than Alpha Gaming. Alpha Gaming is absolutely a veteran roster that I think might have the perseverance today to be able to overcome that pressure. What do you think?
I was over here smirking because I was just waiting for you to say the words. I was waiting for you to say, yeah, Alpha Gaming is full of MVPs. Alpha Gaming is full of PMGC MVPs as well. They've been here. They have that experience. And to be honest, I don't see them crumbling. And this is why I just continue to pick this team. I don't see Alpha Gaming letting off the gas, especially with the way they're playing.
It's kind of crazy because I think for a lot of us, having watched PUBG Mobile Esports for so long, it's kind of destiny against the dream, right? The fact that Alpha Gaming on one side has the destiny laid out before them. We always think that they're going to win an international tournament, Max, but then the dream of Yangon Galacticos, this young kids coming from Myanmar, nobody really expected them to be able to take this position, but here they are, potentially going to win one of the big ones.
You would ask anyone if they predicted Yangon Galacticos before this tournament. I could tell you that number is extremely low. The dream is alive right now, 118 points, creating currently a massive gap between themselves and third place. And then you have Alpha Gaming. We've been supporting Star Wars back in the day, Collage, for ages, never winning a global event. This tournament would mean so much to especially Top and Doc to join up onto Zyol, and Zyol could also confirm his second global trophy. This would be a massive achievement if they can make it happen, but again, the pressure is going to be high.
Let's take a look at the power rankings here and boil everything down. You were saying, Neptura?
I was indeed saying something that I want to see. I'm curious to see, because Alpha Gaming, right, they played so well, and as A7 mentioned, Top was not on his best form, right? This is a star-studded roster, and if APG win like that, play like that with Top not being his best, if he comes in today at the top of his game, APG are just going to fly through everybody.
Champions potentially here, Yangon Galacticos and Alpha. Villains in who could upset the balance here, Seven. And maybe they're really outside comebacks, but I think a lot of eyes might be on some of those villains to upset the balance for today.
My favorite role when it comes down to finals day, championship Sunday, it comes down to those teams that just have absolutely nothing to lose. Now you're going to be seeing all the way to the right of villains, Power. The reason why I want to see what Power is going to be doing in regards to villains is because this team has just been so aggressive. Remember, at one point in day one, Neptura, they ended up with 30 eliminations, 0 placement points. So for those teams at the top, maybe trying to hunt them down, they better watch out for those villains.
Absolutely. I think them and also Four Thrives are two teams that I think would definitely hot drop one of the top two teams if they get the chance. I could see them doing that. We've seen Four Thrives hot drop all the time, even when we don't want them to. So for them, they're in the top 8. They're not too far behind. This could be very advantageous for both of those teams to actually do that.
I just want China back on top, man. I've been waiting ever since Nova Esports has got back-to-back PMGC. But since then, except maybe Tiamba got relatively close at one point, I want a Chinese team here to dominate. Weibo, You know what, Sook? Maybe drop the explosive bow. Maybe pick up a DBS on an S12K. Maybe then it will be enough to climb back into the top 2.
Quick predictions then. Who's taking it?
APG.
APG.
I'm staying quiet. No, I'm not touching.
You're not allowed.
I'm not touching that with a 10-feet pole. I'm getting it away from this.
That is fair. That is fair. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting day. And it's an exciting road that we've been on here for PMWC, because we now have an opportunity to crown a new PMWC champion. We have either the dream, the destiny, or destruction here for day number 3 of the grand finals. Let's do this.
The defending champions will not be going through to the finals.
Absolutely insanity.
This is a sad sight for Alpha 7.
Four Thrives on top again and again. Power has more control over the circle.
Alter Egos are looking like the top dogs here.
It all comes down to this. 16 teams, $3 million, and 1 trophy. This isn't just any tournament. This is a legacy in the making. My name is Barney Banks, and I am your host for the PMWC at the 2025 Esports World Cup. We've seen unbelievable plays, we've seen heartbreaks, and we've seen comebacks. But now only one thing changes. Today, Smash Rule comes into play. So get loud and get ready as we introduce your teams to the main stage for one final time, starting with the next generation of players from Turkey. They are Esports. Dominating day 1 and 2 of the finals. Can they cross the finish line in style? Yangon Galacticos! After dominating their region, they were crowned champions of PEL, but they are in need of a spectacular Smash Sunday. It's Thunder Talk Global! Entering this tournament as the reigning club champions. They are also the reigning champions of PMSL Europe and finishing top 3 in their past 2 global events. It is Team Falcons! After closing day 2 in glorious fashion, can they bring a global trophy back to Indonesia? It's Alter Ego Eres! Your reigning champions of PMSL Southeast Asia, E-Arena! they made light work of the group stage. They are the only team from Pakistan to ever make it to a global grand final. They are 4 Thrives Esports. A familiar face on the main stage. They are your 2025 Rivals Club champions, Nongshim Red Force. The enigma of the PMWC, battling their way to the finals. They are Team Secret. Your hometown heroes and the last MENA team standing. It is Power Esports. On paper, they stand out above the rest. A team with 3 global MVPs. Alpha Gaming! Their player, Silas, has the chance to secure the global Grand Slam right here. They are the reigning PMGO champions. It's Regnum Carrier Esports. The all-star lineup of PEL with 2 PMGC MVPs on the roster. It's Weibo Gaming! The team who smashed their way through the survival stage. They are Hora Esports! Champions of the PUBG Mobile Pro Series and currently in 5th place on our leaderboard from Korea, DRX. And finally, can the veterans secure a global title at the PMWC? Turkey's very own Fire Flux Esports. Each of these teams began their journey with the same dream, to become champions. And now, 6 maps, 6 efforts, 6 chances at glory. Some were favorites, some were underdogs, but all of them gave us unforgettable moments that reminded us of why we love this game. And so, we come to the final chapter of a truly incredible story, and we want to see how this will end. So, to the players, this is your moment. And to the fans around the world, welcome to Smash Sunday!
There were so many good teams entering the group stage here at PMWC 2025. We had 4 Thrives, Alpha Gaming, the side of Hora Esports. All of the CSA teams were looking so incredibly good at the start. And of course, Weibo with Order and Sogda had a lot of hope behind this team as to could they possibly make it into the finals. And to make it into the top 8 was always going to be incredibly rough at that stage. When it comes to a team that impressed me during the group stage here at PMWC, one team instantly comes to mind, and that is going to be 4 Thrives. Every player performed exceptionally well. You're looking at T24OP, Faluk, IQSD, IGL, but especially Noki stepped up big time, able to secure some really key chicken dinners in the group stage, and able to secure themselves a 2nd place to move on into the final. Well, my favorite moment in the group stage, I think it would have to be the almost 1v3 clutch from Noki on 4 Thrives against Alpha 7 and Miramar. That clutch would have just been absolutely historical for the Pakistani region as a whole. And it didn't quite work out for him, but it highlights again how good Noki is as a fragger and how he can clutch up in really key moments just like this.
Survival stage was full of opportunities for teams that weren't able to qualify to grand finals via group stages, especially with the top dogs from group stages not being there. Opportunity, that's pretty much what it came down to. One of the teams that surprised me the most was actually Power Esports. This team was a completely different team from what we saw during group stages, being able to be more aggressive. On top of that, getting those chicken dinners. Hopefully, this kind of game style that we saw out of them in survival stage will translate going to the grand finals. When you think about dreams being crushed, there's only one team that comes to mind, and that is none other than the defending champions, Alpha 7. Coming into PMWC at EWC 25 this year, Alpha 7 was one of the favorite teams, being the defending champions. But what we saw out of this team was not champion caliber gameplay. It was actually very lackluster gameplay, indecisions, and just calls that this team had never made before. And this has been a pattern for this team when it came down to global events. It is a big wake-up call for Alpha 7. For me, the best moment, as much as it pains me to say this, it came down actually after the last match. When Hora Esports, a team that nobody has been counting, especially when you think about it from last year, they just look over towards Alpha 7 and they did this.
For the grand finals, I expect nothing less than the best that these teams have to offer. They have proven to us that they deserve to be here, and so now we want to see them perform one last time. The stakes have never been higher at PMWC. Not only do we have a $3 million prize pool, an epic trophy, and the all-important key, we also no longer have Alpha 7, which means we are guaranteed a new champion to both claim those prizes and crush every other team's key.
Our champion live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We have 7, we have Neptura, we have Maxman. Maxman did enough talking in that segment. So 7, the analyst, what do you think coming into our first Sandhawk?
I mean, we already said anything there is to say in regards to some of these top teams. I think we got to look at the middle of the pack, Maxman. You even said there's just so much money at stake. You're going to be looking at DRX. You're going to be looking at Esports. One team that was able to step it up yesterday, 4 Thrives. They're looking to move up on the leaderboard and trying to see if they can possibly get a top 5.
We had a glimpse of the group stage again here yesterday in their matches. Definitely a lot more presence on the Miramar in particular, leaving Picardo, able to get so many extra points on that chicken dinner. Very impressive from Pakistan. Again, the first time ever we've seen a Pakistani team here in a global finals. Can they jump way high in the leaderboards? That is going to be their main goal for today.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see them not only be the first, but to be the first that's so strong as well. 4 Thrives coming in, showing what they're made of, making other teams respect them. A little bit of a falter in day 1, day 2, but coming back really, really good into day 3. I'm very excited to see if they can contend that top 2 position.
You've got so many storylines that are just going to be colliding in all of these matches. Possibly 6 matches, maybe way less. We'll have to see. But also, MVP. Who could it be? So far, there's so many contenders at the top. You're looking at Alpha Gaming. Doc is currently leading, followed up by Reefers, which is a big surprise. Zion is currently in 4th position. There's a high chance Alpha Gaming could be taking at least 1 award at the end of today.
That is true. That Sony Grand Finals MVP will be focused on towards the very end. There are some big names, 7, that could be taking that spot.
Yeah, I think right now, you mentioned it, Max, top. Doc, I mean, Top actually needs to be able to improve with what we were saying earlier. Doc, with the way that he's been able to just continue to play, continue to improve on the performance, and at times, a player that would usually be the one that gets first eliminated for his squad, that's not the case anymore coming into this grand finals.
He's kind of been saving the day, actually, surviving at the solo in these matches and able to get extra placement points, as we see right now, was very, very impactful to allow them to just stay just behind Yangon Galacticos. But I think one player we were talking about quite a bit for Alpha Gaming, Neptura, was Reefers, the player that's been way more silent in PMSL CSA, but he's really, just like Noki for 4 Thrive, just risen up to glory.
Yeah, it's really nice to see a lot of those players that you can kind of call support players, right? They're the ones that are making the things work for those fraggers to come in and sweep the lobby. But it's so nice to see them come into their own limelight as well. You've got Reefus coming in, some really good angles, some really good hits, great shots. He's doing very well. He's getting into that MVP position, and that's just making Alpha Gaming that much stronger.
Let's get to it then. Sandhawk is on the cards for our first game of the day. Will the Assassins come at the 2 Kings at the top here for our first match? Let's head over to the commentators.
the bookend map for the PMWC here live in Saudi Arabia at the Esports World Cup. We started so long ago on Sandhawk, and of course this will be the beginning of the end for these teams today. So close to that smash rule coming into effect, and as Barney Banks said down on the stage, it's gonna be Smash Sunday. There's gonna be intensity, action, blood, sweat and tears. 15 of these keys will be crushed blank, and only one squad will walk away champions.
15 teams battling it out to dismount Yangon Galacticos from the top. The two kings in APG and Yangon Galacticos sitting high upon those thrones. Can those teams underneath dismount them? Like Kale says, it's a wonder here, but we're getting Sandhawk to start things off in just a short moment. No smash ruling will come effect on this first match. It's all about getting over that match point.
That's what we're working with. We'll keep you up to date as things flow, as the teams start to show us what they're made of today. But all you can do, if you're watching at home or in the arena here live, give these teams your energy. Make some noise in that building and show us how excited you are for these games.
We're cutting across Sandhawk, directly horizontal, like a slice from a katana. Which one of these teams will be sharp enough in this game to get above of that match point at 128 and take this whole tournament home? Or will we go all 6 maps today? We can only wait and see as all the teams get out the plane and situated on this match. It looks like Power and 4 Thrives are not done on their duel up towards Hattin.
It's been a fitting name for Power because it has been a power struggle between these two teams. It's happened again and again. We'll see if they actually learn and have some reservations. Obviously, the first time it was Power that pulled it off. Second game, it was 4 Thrives that came out on top. And this time, they both call it quits on the adjustment drops.
Smart move from Power here. They know they're in 10th place. Going to push this further. Surprisingly, 4 Thrives are actually over the top of them with 68, but the middle portion of these points is so interchangeable. And the interchangeability does mean massive swings in cash and glory as you head further and further up those tables. We're going to sit ourselves over towards the eastern side, which does, surprisingly, or not so surprisingly with the circle look that we've seen from them, Yangon Galacticos in a great position in Paradise Resort.
A team that has proved so much in such a short space of time. Tons of talent, very exciting to watch, and I think it's been quite an amazing storyline with how obviously some of us were looking at this thinking, yeah, okay, you're kind of making it work, but is the consistency there? Is this sustainable? Is this repeatable? And I mean, all we've had from the playoffs has been a big resounding yes again and again and again.
It's been more of that, please, the entire time. For Yangon Galacticos, their maneuvers have been sound. It has been smart when it needs to be. Some god grenades been sent over the top from this team. No individual player really strikes out either over on Yangon Galacticos. There has been some moments of absolute domination from some of those players in key moments, but it's a different player each time stepping up to the plate to deliver for that squad. And I think that's what makes them so great, is that the players all can perform at such a high level. No one's lagging behind on that team. Everyone's running in lockstep with one another. There's a couple of teams would be focusing on this match, and this is one of them right here. It's Weibo Gaming. Currently in 3rd place on 82 points, having a real standout here for their region, with some legendary names on board, such as Order right here.
For Order, he's quite consistently been bringing the gavel down on teams inside of these lobbies. We've seen his impact time and time again, but this whole squad goes explosive like the bow that Sook likes to play with so consistently. And right now they're thrown into a clash versus Aura. First tag's good. Able to knock the opening man here into the last day of action. Takes down Jiggle, backline for No Fear.
Order goes down pretty quickly as well, playing behind the stairways, but Aura's taking a sideswipe angle here. I think Team Secret starts to get slightly involved. Sky moves up, but he's in the grass, waiting like a blade of grass to stab and strike from the back.
He's getting these audio cues as well. All about timing for this one. slowly makes his move forward. The jump up from Sky might have given the game away, but the periphery wasn't spotted. He instantly engages. Angle peek as well. Good tag from Sleepy. The bite back. It's a hefty hit. Looking for more.
33Z steps up though. We'll find him on a beautiful DBS shot. And Weibo, they've been taking knocks here and there, but this is a resounding success from this team. And again, it's a real fast start here for Weibo Gaming. They know that they need big elims on these matches if they hope to catch up to APG as well as Yangon Galacticos.
No fear. The opposite of his name at the minute, man. You are going to be sweating bullets. Head down. Hope to avoid being just an additional point on that markup, because like you say, they'll be grabbing those with both hands. Already some more action from the squads that are at the top. It's Alpha that are back on screen. Looking for a bit of a drive-by. A couple establishing shots that were thrown out towards Fireflux.
Weibo Gaming get themselves back up on their feet now, all four players. Alpha Gaming on our screens, down towards the southwest side, coming in contact with Ida probably quite soon, alongside with their Turkish brethren in Fireflux, who are just off towards the east. This is around Quarry. Not an easy position to play, honestly. Will siphon a lot of teams down towards the south side. And they'll have to break fast on either the east or the west. Yangon Galacticos, though, targeted. And why not? Give yourself extra time if you Regnum Kaya, who've had some okay games, honestly, currently at 74 points, but they'd like to bit further up the leaderboards after such success over towards PMGO and overall from this team. They want to extend these playoffs as much as possible.
They would need to climb. And like you say, that's starving out these teams from being able to get themselves into a position to win off of that smash rule. The longer the day goes on, the better. Here, opportunities could present themselves. It's Loxing with token to lock in with the barrage of bullets, but the instant response, that was so quick.
The 180 off that one, what was that? If you're Regnum Kaya, you're thinking to yourself, I'm working against a reaction speed machine. That's terrifying. That would scare me. That would really scare me. It's like Regnum Kaya now realize that they need to be instantaneous on a knock. They need to get this team shot on board quickly now, because they know they can't take any of these quick stabs in the dark. If they're not successful, immediately Yangon Galacticos is going to know the position.
If that's not a good litmus test of what their form's looking like today, I don't know what is. That was absolutely balmy, mate.
They're wired right now. They are wired.
They know it's at their fingertips. The trophy, the title, the lion's share of the prize money. Oh boy, you talk Alliance, and maybe there's a couple looking for an opportunity to pounce 4 Thrives on a bit of a rotate around.
From the north side. Going down towards the south now. We'll see if they just wrap around. Yangon Galacticos actually sets themselves up nicely on this eastern edge. There's a very, very good area of escape here for them, but the circle will center up on the eastern island, giving both Regnum Kai and Yangon Galacticos a nice springboard here from Paradise Resort. Authorized are going to make their way down, though. It looks like they're heading towards the southern arena here, just on the northern precipice of Paris Resort. In the meantime, Alter Ego, who we spoke about a lot, not so much in this game so far, as we were focused over towards Weibo and APG slightly earlier, but another team in 4th place, 78 points. They're slightly further away, but they are the top of the middle of the pack, I would say, in terms of point scoring.
Alpha Gaming. They move bit by bit here. Quick scan from Doc up on the elevated angle to see if he can catch whiff of anyone's positions and get a read on this. Alter Ego not far out, just over towards boot camp.
It's a weird one for us as well, Jackie. The announcement from James Yang earlier, this is likely the final ever Sandhawk will cast.
Kind of crazy, man. It's always a fun map, provides for some very interesting games. But hey, Rondo's looking exciting.
That it is. So we'll make the most of this one. I know it's not any secret, as I say it multiple times, especially to the audience at home, that Sandhawk has always been one of my favorite maps and holds a special place in my heart for the chaotic action. And that's what I'm looking for towards the end of this map. to look to secure those match points for certain teams towards the top to set themselves up nicely, to tee themselves off into match 2 and 3.
Weibo, the shots downrange. It's the RX that are on screen now. We get their POV. Nades over the top. Nice. So good. Right on top of order. And look at the follow-up. The downtime on that is pinpoint. Great communication to get that opening conversion instantly blank. No opportunity to reply.
Yeah, Order wasn't getting away from that no matter what. Even if he tried to crawl inside the rock, those nades would have still done the trick. So Weibo Gaming are forced off of this one, and 3 elims is not enough so far. They need more off the back of this one, and right now they're sandwiched between 4 Thrives, DRX, Horrors underneath them, Team Secrets guarding out towards the west. Smile did move down from Yangon Galacticos over towards a small shack on the south side, which gives them a comfortable position, an anchor point for the rest of the team to drag themselves over towards. But Weibo, they lose Order, they lose Sook. 2 very prominent players on the team are now down. He and 33Z will now need to move off. This is not the game they wanted to start off things with, and like we said, there were so many teams around them.
You're just being pushed from pillar to post as well. It was 4 Thrives that found the stab onto the second player, with Sook being taken out of commission. They try to bail on it. Team Secret catch vision, fire shots their way, soften them up. And ahead of them, it's Alter Ego. So no matter where you go, you are terrified at this point.
Next circle coming in fairly shortly now over towards stage 3, and we'll see where this bad boy ends up, because I think a lot of teams would prefer it not to go down towards Quarry side, where Ida, E-Arena, as well as Fireflux currently are placed. Much easier prospects over towards this area of the map. A lot of nice little bits of high ground to play around outside of boot camp. APG currently just guarding though for Thunder Talks, who are coming in from that western side. Falcons haven't found a home. Still in the blue, down towards Cave. They have to wait things out. There's a lot of teams that move through Camp Charlie.
Looks like we're getting some Rondo gameplay early, because those bird cages are going to be startled when they make their move over towards the zone. Nonshin Red Force ready for the clash, but we're already thrown into one. There's Falax unloading. The DBS rattles back over though, and 4 Thrives might come unstuck. You think you finished the job, and T24 has to do it himself from the backline. A messy engagement. Noki's gone. You can at least get that pick-me-up play back over onto Falak. Unless another squad pulls up. Regnum Karia as well, being headhunted by SayCloud. That's another point to the tally for Yangon.
Bad start for some of these teams though, Jackie. Weibo down to 1 player on a sliver of HP. DRX out with all 4 players down. Not a lot of eliminations to speak of. The 2 Terrors towards the top, towering over the rest of the lobby. It is the twins in Yangon Galacticos and APG, just 1 point apart.
You can feel a bit of a different air with how these teams are approaching it today as well. The importance on each of these points. And for Yangon, the path ahead of them could be found with resistance from Power. A team that have been no strangers to picking up big elimination games here on Sanhok.
APG playing this out very slow at the moment. They know they need to. This game's about getting over match point. I think for APG, it's a slightly different story for them because it's quite an aggressive team. For Yangon Galacticos, they sort of just need to play their own game. They'll have to switch things up too much playing on the outer edge, but for APG, this is where they'd go to die right now if they're not able to get over that match point early in the day. Yangon Galacticos is able to fix that one for themselves. Right now, I'd say APG is playing a smart game. They're not trying to push too far. They're securing that location on the western side. They do not want to be backstabbed. And this is nice. This is nice. They can certainly play this one. They're keeping it all nice and calm, which is kind of uncharacteristic for that team, but they have been making these adjustments where it's required during these playoffs, and it has been so fantastic to see a more controlled approach for Alpha Gaming.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to watch. And they've been running those more passive games. We've seen that on Sandhawk from them. Placements have been huge, and especially at this point, getting those placements, getting into that smash zone, that could be a whole different story. We get the shift on the zone as well. Team Secret not in a bad spot whatsoever, centered up with some cover to play with.
Emre taking down Redox as Falcons made a quick rotate towards the center of the circle, going for a lot more of these recently. APG trying to move through the circle. This is slightly late. They cleared the western side, but they were bold on their push towards the east. Zhor's already down. Reefus is knocked out the vehicle. Oh, it's a dangerous gambit, Jackie.
It's a very deadly game they're playing. Trying to focus on so many different angles because of where they found themselves trapped. Limited cover to play with. Shots in the backline still coming in from Doxy. Ahead of them, it's he that's also trying to take peaks back over. In the meantime, Go out. Seems like Power have kicked off the fight versus Yangon as well. And SayCloud, that one gets stolen away from Red and Karia, whilst 4-5s continue the fight versus E-Arena, and Alpha Gaming just try and find some form of cover.
SayCloud going down. It's very dangerous for Yangon Galacticos, considering how strong he's been for the squad. They do get a re-knock, but now Yangon Galacticos down to 2 versus the 3 coming through from Power. Al-Haji is fully flushed out there. So a 3v3 effectively, unless another player goes down, dropping Yangon to just 2. In a similar boat with APG in those moments. Smile gets taken down by Ragnar, and match point might just not be found in this match as Yangon Galacticos are out.
A sigh of relief for many other teams in the lobby, with Power pulling off that play. Their eyes lighting up as they see the Elim feed starting to fill with Yangon's name. But for Alpha, the journey continues. Fragmented though, down to the 2 players, just Doc and Reefus that are trapped apart from one another. Bullets out from Reefus onto the back of Doc C. He's trying to take the peaks on this.
Tough game now for Alpha Gaming, just the 2 players. This is really rough. Reefus hits the deck also. This is Alter Ego, almost about to lose Krypton at distance from Tizzy. Out in the blue. You'd be furious if you're Alter Ego. This was a very, very good opportunity for them to catch up in the rankings.
For Nonshin, I don't think this will be a Dr. Dre play. They won't forget about Doc trapped in behind the rocks. Via Flux taking the head-to-head versus Regnum Karia with a third party from Team Secret as well. Tizzy has already shown us how much turmoil he can cause in this lobby with the shots over onto Krypton of Alter Ego. You get the replay here of a very important fight as well. That was Power versus Yangon that resulted in them going out.
Alter Ego's doing great work. Moana with a big nade. Hits the double. Alva's been taking some nice shots from Alter Ego, and that's outside in the blue, making the most of this zone, but he knows he's got to get back in, because just like that, the play zone was doing a huge amount of damage. I think he just about made it through, but that's another great nade from Tizzy over towards Rosemary, leaving them down to just the 1 player. Where is that nade going? Got no more left now. Wasn't able to confirm over towards Rosemary. Alva's back up on his feet. Moana's dropping the smokes.
Tizzy's trying to get in close range. Wants to put the shot into good use. Tag from the side. Alva gets a visual on him. Nade up from the teammate. Good peek back in. It's Binny in the back that hits heavy with the DBS. You're going for the pickup. The car drives by. Moana runs into the barrel and goes down. See you later, Alter Ego.
Almost all of our big-ticket teams are down now. Regnum Karia, DRX, Alter Ego, Weibo. But it's Alpha Gaming, surprisingly getting Reefus back up on their feet. This game's not done yet for this squad.
It seems like they smell blood in the water off the fight from Alter Ego. The bounce on the nade. That one's going to arc you back up and get you a little bit clammy in the hands. Reefus has 4 nades of his own to reply with. Casts one in close. Binny rocks over. They can play off one another. That's the manpower advantage they have. And Reefus, he's on an island. The nade bouncing over the top as well. Reply with the molly to force him out of position. He's being burnt, cooked in position. They just need to get close to finish him.
Gets tagged by the flames as well, and that will be Reefus going down here. Now just Doc, the big man himself, 27 elims during the playoffs. It is a massive result for a singular player here. Can he hold his own? At least get themselves some more points going into the next match to make that match point slightly easier. For Yangon Galacticos, it's 8 that they need to breach. In our first angle of the day, and Doc's out, and it's power of all the teams to make it happen. Making these games interesting, taking down both Yangon and APG, the Giant Slayers.
Heavy is the hand from Power today, as they are running through these teams. They take the fight to 4 frags from distance as well. Confidence to split. It's easy that was able to strip Falak out of the competition.
4 frags, not doing too badly on this match. 9 eliminations. Good result for them. Nice shot through from IQ. Once again over towards Easy, being left behind as Vahiden has to wrap back round again to wrap Vahiden with bandages. Get Easy back up on his feet as quickly as possible, because this blue is starting to push in and it hits hard. That might be both of them going down. In fact, Vahiden's very lucky to get out of there as quickly as he did.
Had me scared, man. The drive through the blue, the wide turning circle. The play zone still going to nip at the heels of Easy as well. So it's starting to go south for Power bit by bit. 4 frags taken to pieces as well. Team Secret engage on top of them. Nongshim Red Force just watching, biding their time. You've got the 2-player push-up close towards the Falcons that are catching whiff of this.
Cole and Ralph. Deadly duo here. The IGL. And the slayer of squads, Koa himself. Good nade up from Zizzy. More Molotovs thrown through, just delaying what Falcons can do here. The blue's going to force them out into unfavorable engagement between them. There's a car coming in.
Nice Team Secret having a bit of a scout on that one. See if they want to commit to it. Zizzy on the peek up, only able to grab one. The boa constrictor himself poises, hits back.
No!
Oh, straight into the nade. And goodbye Falcons, as Team Secret shut them down. Power are still in play, but of course it's only that duo that remains alive right now.
Team Secret whispering death in the ears of these other teams. A nade over the top, it looks to go fairly long, bounces over the top, a huge amount of damage off the back of that one. No team is inside the circle. Nongshim Red Force taking this time to move out towards the south side and get some big angles. Another nade up towards the backside of Power there, should be going down now. Ragnar attempts to deny the points, but it's slightly late. It's Team Secret up against Nongshim, a 3v3.
So many wide open sight lines to work with. Zizzy realizes he's got to get up close and provide some cover for himself, but it's an instant connection. First man falls, leaving only 2. They can't play to get him back up. They've got to focus on the crosshairs instead.
That will be Nongshim Red Force taking the first chicken dinner of the day. What a fantastic result for them. I mean, to be quite frank, from their region, Nongshim Red Force plays extremely strange throughout this entire tournament. It's a whole different style because we're used to very defensive kind of plays from that region overall. But Nongshim Red Force shows us a completely different, deadly, angry side from that team.
We've seen them running headfirst into danger time and time again. This is another one of these games where they come out swinging. Exciting stuff though, with Power causing that struggle in the lobby, taking the fight to the teams that are so close to that point barrier and making it uncomfortable, giving other squads a chance now.
They've just painted a target on their back.
Oh yeah.
Power's made some very powerful enemies in this game. But I don't think they'll be stopping anytime soon. I like that they're just playing these games out with not a care in the world. They just want more points on board. But the same can be said for a lot more teams. Getting towards their angle. No team on match point just yet.
Cybertron's future is near. Autobots, roll out! This planet reeks of weakness. Your courage reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new load of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
Well, Nongshin Red Force here gets a big Sandhawk win to get them into day number 3 of the grand final here for PMWC, but also those top teams shut down to start off day number 3. Joining me, Neptura, as well as Max Man, to talk about this one. Max, Nongshin Red Force, actually, we spoke about it at the beginning of the day. These wins for these teams, even if they're not able to challenge for number 1 by the end of the day, this is still big wins potentially for these teams.
If you get in the top 5 at the end of today, you're going to make big money at the end of this one. So, of course, they had a ton of eliminations, get the 10 placement points. We'll have to see when the leaderboards pop up to see how much of an increase they really got. But Nongshin Red Force, if there's any point in time you want to get a win, it's right now, especially on the very last Sanhok of this year currently when it comes to globals.